Natalia Bonner. Welcome back to Let's Stitch a Year of Blocks. This is block number 12, the last block of this awesome year. I have so much enjoyed stitching along with you all throughout this year, and I have loved seeing your quilts and seeing you all improve in your machine quilting journey. It just fills my heart. My heart wants to explode when I see your beautiful quilts and the progress that you've all made. So keep sharing your progress. Now, before we do hop over to the video, I want to remind you that now the 12th class in this year-long series has been released. You can now register for this class plus all 11 other classes over on our website, peaceandquilt.com, and gain access to the remaining 12 videos. If you join the complete year-long Stitch Along Plus classes, you'll gain access to over 156 machine quilting videos where I teach you step by step how to machine quilt these awesome quilt blocks. You don't want to miss out. This is a great addition to any machine quilter's library. All right, friends, let's hop over to the machine and let's get stitching. I'll start out this fun block design by stitching in the ditch all the way around the outside of the block. Then from there, let's start working on the block. On this block, I am going to quilt straight lines. So I'll start out by stitching in the ditch around the outside of these white triangles. Once I've done that, then I'm going to use my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler. I'll lay the first marked line on that ruler, which is the 1/2 inch marking, right on top of my previous stitch line. Then I'll travel using that line on top of my stitching as my guide and stitch a second straight line. I'll repeat that process until I've filled in each of these triangles with those evenly spaced 1/2 inch markings. So I've designed the 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler so that the markings on that ruler are based off of your needle position and a ruler foot. Most ruler feet are designed so that from your needle position to the outside of your foot, it's 1/4 of an inch. So using that and using the 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, you can actually eliminate a lot of marking and a lot of measuring just by using the markings on the ruler. I'm going to continue working my way around my block, filling in each of those background sections with those evenly spaced 1/2 inch straight lines. Now that I've worked my way all the way around the outside, it's time to move on to the center of the block. Now I'm going to let you watch as I quilt this first section, and then I will walk you through my process when we move on to the second section. Now I'm going to move on to my first corner. I'm also going to let you just watch as I quilt the first corner, and then I'll walk you through my process in just a minute. As I'm finishing up this corner, let's move on to the next block. On these next blocks, I have not done any marking, but I'm going to stitch to the center of my strip. From there, I'm going to stitch point to point lines, working my way through that center strip out to the flying geese point, back to the center, then out to the flying geese point, and then back to the center point again. From there, I'll repeat that process. This time, however, I'm moving in 3/4 of an inch. To know that I'm moving in 3/4 of an inch, I hold my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler so that that 3/4 inch marking line on the ruler lays right on top of that point on my flying geese. Then I'll stitch the point to point lines. I'll repeat the process one more time, this time though stitching just to the outside point on that center strip. Now I've not done any marking on those sections. On those sections, that is a place you definitely could use the blue Mark Be Gone marker and mark out a T. It would eliminate kind of the need for eyeballing, and you would know that your design is stitched right to the center points. I am not a perfectionist, so a lot of designs like this, I'm okay if it's not perfect. Now let's stitch that out one more time. Actually, we'll do a total of 2 more times, but let's stitch it out one more time. Notice how I'm stitching point to point and then eyeballing. There are times in my quilting when I do travel over my original stitch lines. Now let's stitch out a corner. On these corners, watch closely how I hold my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler. I'll start stitching in the corner, but then I'm going to hold my ruler so the side of the ruler lays right on top of the corner. So it's just a slight angle. It's going to cause the triangle that I'm stitching on the inside just to be a slightly different angle than the triangle on the outside. This is kind of a fun cheater way to create echo stitching. Start in the corner, just stitch slightly off and create a fun inside echo. Now I've moved on to the 4th side on my block where I'm going to ignore the seams. We're looking beyond the seams here, and instead of focusing on those flying geese and then the strips, we're tying them all together with machine quilting. So I know I'm always telling you that I love stitch in the ditch work, but it's designs like this why I don't stitch in the ditch first. Usually I'll stitch in the ditch around the outside of my block, but generally not through the whole center of the block because I might want to see beyond the seams. Now I'm moving out to my 4th and final corner where, watch closely how I hold my ruler there at that slight angle to create that inside echo. And of course, I'll finish off this block by stitching in the ditch right through the center of my block. This has been such a fun stitch along. Thank you for all joining me and stitching along. I love seeing your work. Share your progress on these awesome quilts over in our Piece and Quilt Show and Tell Facebook group. Have a great day, everybody.